The scientific method. So basically, we're going to have an example at the end of this, and it's going to go over everything we have learned in the scientific method, including the steps, parts of experiment. Okay, we're going to be doing all the parts of experiment identifying in a problem, okay? So scientific method is a thinking process for problem solving. The steps of scientific method is problem and question, research, hypothesis, experiment, analyzing the results, and the conclusion and report. Okay, so problem question, you have a problem, and a question, you want to solve it, so you do research about it. Then you make a hypothesis, I think that's this. Then you do an experiment to see if your hypothesis is correct or not. Then you analyze what you got, what results you got by doing the experiment, and then you make a conclusion. Was your hypothesis right or wrong? Parts of experiment are the control group, experimental group, independent variable, dependent variable, and constants. The control group, it's any group that does not receive any treatment. Okay, again, we will be doing a example at the very end, a problem. I'll let you guys solve it, then I'll show you how I got the answers and all. Okay, so just wait and watch for a minute. Okay. Our experimental group is the part of an experiment which is getting the treatment. The independent variable versus the dependent variable. The independent variable is the part of the experiment which is getting changed, like an x value in math. If you're a mathematician, but not that much of a science nerd, it's like the x value. And the dependent variable is part of the experiment which is getting measured. It's the y value. So because of x, you get y. For you guys ELA people, it's like cause and effect. The independent is the cause, and the dependent is the effect. Okay. On a graph, the independent variable would be on the x-axis. The dependent variable would be on the y-axis. Constants, any part of the experiment that does not change. Quantitative data versus qualitative data. Quantitative data is expressed using numbers. Qualitative data is the measure of how good or bad something is. I remember this as in quantity in quantitative and quality in qualitative. Okay. And so here is our example I've been talking about, okay? It is Kat wants to know which liquid will help her pepper plant grow the tallest. She puts four pepper plants in four identical pots. She gives each plant the same type of soil and puts them in the window where they get the same amount of sunlight. Plant 1 receives no liquid for the week, plant 2 receives water all week, plant 3 receives Sprite all week, and plant 4 receives lemon juice all week. After the week is over, Kat measures the height of her pepper plants. So let's go over this. You guys can try. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, so now I will be showing you. Okay, so what I did is I put everything, parts of experiments that we need to find, so which was independent variable, dependent variable, constant, control group, and experimental group, and then I highlighted in all of this so that we can see what is what, okay? So our independent variable is which liquid we're using. Because of which liquid we're using, that's how we're finding out which one will grow the tallest, okay? Our dependent variable is which one will grow the tallest and the height of her tomato plants, because that is what we're measuring. The constant, that's what is always going to be the same. That is the four identical pots. They are identical. They're not changing. The same type of soil puts them in the window where they get the same amount of sunlight. So the difference between constant and control group, the constant is the parts of the experiment that are going to be the same. A control is like, it's like the actual experiment, you're not changing it. So like you're not, let's say you're doing a test for medicine, then the control group is the people who don't get the medicine. Okay, whichever, I don't know what your question is, but let's say that is how your question is. Then the control group are the people who are not getting the medicine. The constant is that, let's say they're all in the same room, or they're all the same age, or something like that, okay? So that is like the type, and that is actually the thing, okay? And then our control is the no liquid for the week, because that's just like, okay, regular plants, okay? It gets no liquid for the week while the experimental receives water all week, so it can get overwatered, right? receives Sprite all week. That can damage your roots. It's soda. And receives lemon juice all week. Let's see if it gets a sugar rush or something. So that is how we are getting to solve this. Okay? So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. This is by Think Sapling.